Welcome to the Paradise Paradox. My name's Aaron Battle. Today, I'll be interviewing Erik Vollstädt, where we're talking about Bitnation, how he got involved in Bitnation, his current role in Bitnation, and his future plans. We talk about his goals for Latin America, creating synergy, creating a good team, and the implications of what a new international governance, this platform, what it can actually do to help out people, for example, like refugees or people in countries where their government don't offer services which people require. If you're viewing us on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're listening to us on podcasts, Podcast Addict or Pocket Casts, leave us a good review or give us a high rating. Please jump onto our website, www.theparadiseparadox.com. You'll see up the top, we actually have our sponsor, Amazon. Jump through there, and if you make any purchases, we get a tiny fraction, a little commission on all the purchases you buy. So by all means, go ahead and consume. And also on the top of our page, you'll see that there is a donate button. So we suggest for all the episodes that you like, suggested donations $1, but like a busker in the street, if it's worth 50 cents, $1, no worries. Bitcoin, all cryptocurrencies, we support the new money. So send us a donation. If you like something, we suggest donate, show support, send us a little love. It's all appreciated. And thank you very much to everyone that has been donating. It's nice to know that people appreciate what we do, and that we can keep doing what we do. So, let's get into it. Welcome, Erik, to the Paradise Paradox. How are you doing today?
Hey everyone, what's up?
Well, today I wanted to get your insight to Bitnation, how it's coming along, what you've been working on lately, and maybe a bit of background on how you got into Bitnation in the first place.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, I got into Bitnation because I went into the libertarian political philosophy, and I was trying to figure out ways how to implement it in a realistic way, not through political activism, but more through technological advancements. And I've heard of it before from a few friends in Ghana, and later on I joined them because I've noticed that this is a global movement and they didn't do anything so far to translate their content to other languages. So I was trying to help them to spread the word, also in Latin America, to translate to Spanish. So I joined them and just contributed. And later on I took over more and more tasks for the ambassador network, and started to kind of coordinate the ambassadors. And now it's fully decentralized and everyone can participate as they want to. But still, it's good to have an overview over who's doing what for Bitnation, to just have a clue. And yeah.
Cool. It sounds like there's a lot in that. So exactly what position or where are you involved in now? Do you have a title with Bitnation?
Right now I'm the global lead ambassador.
Excellent. Okay, so you check in on everyone all over the world on how they're going with their individual progress?
Like our new homepage, you can write yourself into the team, and I will just look at everyone who's writing themselves in the ambassador holon. Like we're a holocracy where everyone can participate, and I'm just trying to find out how they want to contribute, and just to check if they really understand what Bitnation is about, and just to see like what they're up to. And also I'm publishing articles on the blog, and also translating them to several languages: Spanish, German, French, Russian. And
Cool.
yeah, I'm also trying to publish interviews, as many as possible, with our ambassadors.
Okay.
And, to also publish articles from others who are interested in publishing them. So yeah, I'm open to anyone who wants to publish their stuff in our blog.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, it's a big task. I mean, trying to get this information to everybody, and then allocate like a chain of command to have people actively working in different countries. Are you looking for more people to sign up to the ambassador program?
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm always looking out for, because I'm the lead ambassador. I'm basically not only representing Bitnation, I'm also trying to recruit new ambassadors. So I'm trying to reach out to people in Latin America and Europe. Like through the internet, you can basically talk to anyone and just like try to approach them and see if they're willing to contribute voluntarily. And I think as we grow, we will get more and more ambassadors over time. Like the goal is to have ambassadors everywhere, all over the world.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you need a team in every country or more. How many do you have so far?
So far, like before we had the decentralized way where you can just write yourself in, we had about 30 or 35. Now I think maybe over 200 or something wrote themselves in, and it's hard to have an overview who's doing what and if they're actually doing something. So I have to really write everyone.
Yeah. You need a way to poke everyone to make sure that they're completing their missions. But how's the activity here in Mexico? Because Kurt and I, we talk a lot about the government here in Mexico and use it as a comparative example against with the US or Australia, because that's what we know. But are you getting much traction here in Mexico?
So far, we didn't have anyone in Mexico apart from you, and yeah,
I'm just interested.
We have someone in Guatemala, for example, who is starting to do stuff. We have someone in Colombia, and my idea is to connect all the different ambassadors who speak Spanish to have like synergy. Like to have all the mutual benefits of working in these Spanish-speaking countries.
Of course, yeah, because the programs that you do, the projects and the products that the Bitnation are going to produce for any Latin American country can be directly transferable to the next country. So I mean, it makes sense that Latin America as a team and we're working together to see what issues or what gaps, I guess, are better in government systems, that we can provide an actual service for people that at the moment may not have that available to them.
And I don't know if you have been introduced to Bitnation before, but maybe I should say a few general sentences. We are basically trying to compete with the nation states, with their government services, on a voluntary way, in a global way. And we are basing all our services on the blockchain. So if you want to certify something, instead of having a government license, you have it on the blockchain. Like anyone can see it, anyone can check it, and you cannot manipulate it. And yeah, it's a much more efficient and more also democratic way of proving that you have a certain identity or a property right or something like that, because the blockchain consensus mechanism is much more democratic than what the bureaucracy of the governments are doing. It's much more arbitrary what the nation states are doing. And
yes,
we are offering these services also to those who didn't have these kind of services before. Like in Ghana, there's a big problem with land deeds, and we give them the possibility to register their private property on the blockchain and to prove with geotagging and the blockchain ID that the property is their own and not someone else's. So they can try to settle their land disputes with this new technology.
Excellent. Just in regard to that, we use the example Ghana, but any person is able to register their land with maybe, I mean, do they have to upload a copy of, for example, here in Mexico, there's still deeds. I know in Australia they use a similar system. Can you do that?
I mean,
Is there a way
it was just a pilot project because first of all we have to have the basic platform, the Pangea platform ready, and then the whole ID reputation system to get all the other D apps, it's how they're called, these decentralized applications, to get them going. And I mean the whole code is not that. I mean, we already got most of the code for the backend, but the biggest problem is the front end. Like to have the API, to have it easily to use for non-tech people. You know, that's the biggest thing. To get.
Yeah, because at the moment you need to be a programmer to put together something new.
Yeah,
like there's not blocks that you can.
Yeah, but working a lot, and I think we're making great progress on making it more easily to use with an easier interface, and to have it like at some point as an app. Maybe you can just download it on your smartphone and then use all these things.
Yeah, we mentioned about using contracts as well, as if is there a module to have a contract with several parties involved?
I think anything should be possible. I mean, you can use this model or another model. We're not telling you how to exactly use these applications. I mean, we also would like to have some form of, like Uber network for dispute resolution. You could, for example, have different providers of these services, and they compete with each other, and like one of them says we only provide you this kind of contracts, the other one says we only provide this kind of things. So you could have, for example, also it doesn't tell you what kind of economic system you want to have. You could also have more contracts that are more likely for socialistic people to have like community contracts or this kind of stuff. Or you could also have more like restrictive private property providers of these services.
Yeah. So it's really about understanding the ideologies of the people that want to put together a system, and then have someone to put it together.
And
but at the moment, is there anything like that put together, or did you have any trials?
Well, we had the pilots, like for example, for the world citizenship. Like we had the first citizen on the blockchain, Janina Lois, who had like a form as a global passport, where she just has an like identity that she can prove she's herself on the blockchain, that is not cannot be manipulated. And the idea is to have one day ambassadors negotiate with each country that these passports are actually valid. So, for example, stateless people could use our citizenship instead of like having all these problems with nation states.
So yeah, it really does give you that option to be free from having to say that you are from a particular nation.
Yeah, and it's to be free from the geographical apartheid, as Suzanne says. Our CEO, Suzanne Tarkowski-Temple. She says that we should not be restricted by the artificial boundaries that we are born in, just because of the fact that we live in this physical area. And in our days, we should be able to choose just of how we want to do, how we want to live in these governance systems, instead of being restricted by geographical boundaries.
Yeah, that is. It's not really that hard to change your mind between thinking what's the status quo at the moment, having your passport connected to the country that you happen to be born in, but that really limits people how they're able to move. I mean, there was in Europe the issue with the refugees moving from Syria.
Yeah.
Are they taking advantage of being able to identify themselves with this kind of system?
We have been working on this, on the refugee emergence response. we're actually providing IDs for stateless refugees or for refugees in general. But the problem is like how the officials from the nation states deal with it. You know, I mean, maybe they have IDs, but most of the country officials don't acknowledge them. You know.
Yeah.
And we also provided visa cards that are like where you donate €12, and for every €12 we give a visa card to a refugee or something like this. I can also give you the link for this program. I think it's been working quite well, and it's also a way for these refugees to actually have cash to buy something in stores, because these cards automatically wherever you can pay with Visa cards, you can actually pay with Bitcoin there. Like it's automatically exchanging the currencies.
Yeah, so you use the Bitcoin as the source of value that travels through Visa to make your payments.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. On one hand, it's great. It's great to be able to have to allow a service for refugees that mightn't be connected to the country they're in any way, to have their access financially, or to be able to be part of the economic system there. But I mean, I can see from the other side as well, there's probably people that may not appreciate having people from outside their country, potentially, they'll take the view of it being illegal, and then being able to access money and funds so easily. Has that been a problem?
Well, I mean, this is another problem, because we are just giving help to those who are in need, and it's nothing more than something a humanitarian organization would do, And the whole immigration thing is something else. It's something the nation states are dealing with, and it's because we have this big construct where we have borders, and in my perspective, and also from other people at Bitnation, all of these borders are obsolete anyways. They're just individuals. There's not these big things. Like how can really such a big territory such as Germany or France or whatever can be owned? It's not you can really control such a big mass of land.
I can see the different points of view that take care of all that. I mean, without going down, we're just touching on conspiracy theory. Some of these countries where they're registered, it makes it seem like they're a corporation rather than an actual country. Like the government that's running that is supposed to be a representation of the people, and then you have a look at these people that are involved inside, just to go in along with the motions and don't really question, this hierarchy, or I guess the order of command in these cases. And we're talking about countries. Like, this is a country and their government, and there's no critical thinking of the actual role that's playing. And I mean, that's why Bitnation really took me by surprise initially, because I didn't think it was possible to start offering government services internationally to give people an alternative, rather than saying government. Now we're putting that power in the hands of the people to do what they like with that. So I mean, it's a pretty powerful movement. But for example, in the articles that you're writing at the moment, is there any themes that are coming up that people would like to know more about? Or reasons why there's so many people trying to move towards something like this?
Well, because the system we're living in is basically extorting us, and it's it's making our lives much more harder than it could be. The whole way we are being taxed, the whole way we are forced to use services that we didn't ask for. It's all involuntary, and
we're forced to pay for them, whether we use them or not.
If I buy a cell phone, I can choose this or this provider, but when I choose my legal services, I cannot choose if I want to be if I go to this court or this court. It's mandatory, or many things like this, where the government just has a monopoly, and we want to end this monopoly by offering an international alternative, and the most important thing is that the whole way the government or the state justifies its monopoly, it's invalid. It says because there was some constitution or social contract, but this constitution was signed by people who are dead long ago, And today, the people who are born today and all those who are living today did never voluntarily sign or any of these contracts. So we're just forced to follow some contract that has been signed by dead people. So
yeah, hundreds of years ago. I mean, and that's a majority of us. I know you're in Germany at the moment. I'm in Mexico, and I've got family in a few other countries, and it's irrespective of where you are. It's all the same deal. Like we're born into a government system.
And just
that's as basic.
The fact that these governments stop us from moving freely over the world. It's really a big problem. And I mean, in the EU, okay, there is free movement between the EU countries, but for everyone from outside the EU, you see they're actually dying to just get in, and it's crazy. All these artificial borders are bringing people to the point where they're risking their lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, from your personal point of view, do you understand why people are moving from one country or trying to get into the EU? And would you say that's pretty safe to say that's just a safer place to live and a better economic
just for economic reasons and also for safety and stability reasons. Because outside of the EU, there's so many, who knows what, wars, disease. People are starving because they have plenty of problems of their own, and they see they can make their choice to live in a better place. So they are very mobile. They want to have better life for themselves and for their family. So they're taking all these risks. But yeah, it's very hard.
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable situation that families and people in general don't need to be.
They are living in camps, and it's like, but still, it's much better than when they come from apparently.
Well, I know we focus on a lot of the services that we can give to countries that have that absent of government service. But what service could you think of that perhaps you would like to bring into more of a first world situation, like something like something you and I could take advantage of?
For example, we had someone from Japan, but he's now living in Vietnam, to use the blockchain to make his marriage, to certify his marriage without the government. For example, in countries where it's prohibited, gay people could use it to officially marry each other on the blockchain, or you could use it for any kind of contract that would be invalid over your nation-state law. You could use it for example, if you want to get rid of your citizenship and then have the blockchain ID instead. There's it's unlimited things that you could use it for, where you could just use it instead of government services,
Excellent. And this comes into the role of the ambassador to somewhat work beside government and assist in this implementation.
So far, the ambassadors have taken more of a representative role, just to to spread the word for conferences, or to recruit new people, or to more for information and marketing purposes. But in the future, we also envision the ambassadors to have more of a diplomatic role, to actually negotiate with nation-state officials about Bitnation citizens' rights, And
excellent.
This is something we plan on doing when we have much more of a better working technological foundation. We need to have the platform running and all of these basic things working. And after that, we can go on with the funding, and then actually doing all these specific political things.
Excellent. So someone that's interested in this and loves the idea behind it, what can they do rather than putting their hand up to become an ambassador, but they want to be involved and show support?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of ways you can participate. I mean, if you have some developer skills, you can work with us on working on the D apps. It's all open source. We're super open for anyone who wants to work with us on that. You can help us with spreading the word about Bitnation as an ambassador. You can go to local meetups, to conferences, to share the idea of free governance, international free governance services. You can simply look up our articles and help to translate stuff if you want.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, what I'm going to do, there'll be in the links. Any links that you want to send forward to me to share with the audience, we can do that. I'll also put up an email that they can contact you directly if they're interested, or a link through to the Bitnation. Because I know I've been interested for a while. It's just a matter of knowing how and how I go about it, or what do I do to help push this along. But I mean, being in Mexico, I suppose I got plenty of work ahead of me. So I mean, that's why you've reached out to me.
It would be awesome if we had like people in every country, and then everyone in each country could like talk to locals, so we can spread like more organically, you know. Also, not just from the internet, but also like from real life point of view, you know. So you have ambassadors just around the door, you know. It would be the best. But yeah.
How far away? Do you say that's a 2-year or a 5-year plan?
Of course, it's more in the long run, but still, I think we're like growing quite fast. I mean, now we have over I don't know 200 ambassadors or something, and of course, not every one of them is active because I still need to coordinate and still need to get in touch with them. But I mean, when they actually all start working, I think it can spread quite quickly. You know, it's like for every ambassador we get, we could potentially have two more ambassadors. You know.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's all part of the growing process, and I think this is a natural movement. I mean, there's more younger people asking some serious questions about the way the world works, and there are better ways. It's just a matter of getting that into a momentum that everyone's aware of it and can take advantage of that.